That is Jordan Gray from nearby Hartsville, South Carolina, bringing us the national anthem here to kick off day 4 of the 2015 DYB Ozone World Series here from Lexington, South Carolina, and broadcasted to you live here on JockJive.com. Jason Thompson moving from Field 7 to Field 8 today, where the Ozone division will wrap up on Thursday. We have 3 games on the docket today. First one is an elimination game between Team Mississippi and the host, Lexington. Mississippi will be the visitors on the scoreboard. This is the lineup that will be facing Lexington pitcher Austin Glad. Number 2 is Warren Gary, the shortstop. 3 is the center fielder John Davis. Number 7 is Sean Smith at third base. 34 is the catcher Elijah Watts. 42 is Diego Otero. 23 is Keyshawn Patterson, the pitcher. 44 is Joe Scarborough at second base. 22 is Taylor Williams in right. 21 is Will Clemens in left field. 15 is Hunter Lee at first base. 6 is T.J. Thomas, and 24 is Brandon Newbill. They are coached by Gentry Williams, Joe Gary, and Alan Scarborough. For Lexington on the infield, from left to right, from third base to first base, is number 28, Trad Pickney. 24 is Ben Rawl. 20 is Logan Goodwin, and 26 is Charlie Compton. The outfield from left to right is number 23, Ethan Plyler. 31 is Richie Parker. 23 is Reese Holbrook. Behind the plate is number 30, Palmer Curvin, and on the bump is number 22, Austin Glad. Umpires for this one will be Greg High behind the plate, Herman Huskin at first base, Tim Metzger at second base, and Darrell Richardson at third. Understand we're also being simulcast back in Pascagoula, Mississippi on AM 1580 WPMO. We appreciate you on the Mississippi Gulf Coast listening in. For Team Mississippi, they lost their opener 10-0 in 4 innings to Florida. Dropped down in the loser's bracket where they beat Virginia 13-3 in 5 innings, and then in a nail-biter last night, edged North Carolina 10-9. The host, Lexington, lost a close one, 9-7 to North Carolina in their opener. They bounced back to beat Arkansas 17-2 in 5 innings, then edged Texas 9-7 last night.
Leading off for Mississippi in the top of the first, number 2, the shortstop, Warren Gary.
Definitely one of the stories of this tournament, the host, Lexington, who automatically get it team in the World Series for being the host. They didn't have to play district or state play, but despite that, their 3 teams are a combined 5-4, and 2 of their 3 are still in it after 3 days, as Warren Gary steps to the plate. And the first pitch at 3:31 is a ball. Gary has pitched 4 innings in the tournament so far. The only pitcher that cannot pitch for either team is Elijah Watts. He pitched 5 innings last night. We'll explain after this pitch is a ball, now 2-0. Pitchers are allowed a total of 15 innings in a tournament, but if they pitch into a 4th inning in any particular game, they cannot pitch for 36 hours. So everybody except Watts is available to pitch today. That is a ball 3 to Warren Gary, spelled with 2 R's. I'm going to assume he's the son of Coach Joe Gary for Team Mississippi. Glad's 3-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Again, I'll be heading over to Field 11 to do I believe it is a Majors game later tonight. Actually, it's a AAA game. The pitch. Swung on off the handle of the bat. The second baseman has it. It's going to be a close play at first, and he beats it out. So the infield single for Warren Gary, as the throw from Logan Goodwin had a little too much air on it, allowing Gary to beat it out.
Next into the box for Mississippi, the center fielder, number 3, John Davis.
Number 3 is John Davis, the center fielder. The winner of this one will get the winner of our 8 o'clock game tonight, the final of the winner's bracket, if you will, between Florida and South Carolina. Boys from Spring Hill, Florida, looking to win their 3rd World Series title this summer. Just last week, their machine pitch team won the World Series, and the week before that, their Junior Dixie Boys were World Series champs. And he's off on the pitch. That ball is up, and there won't be a throw. Good jump there by Warren Gary. He's safe at second. Done a handful of Mississippi's games in this tournament, and Gary in particular can fly if he gets on those base paths. He has about a 2-step lead there at second base. The 1-0 from Austin Glad as he spins, and the head first slide back, no throw. We have some other DYB news to report, which we'll do throughout the course of the game. The 1-0 is a strike. All the DYB state national directors and their board had their meeting on Monday. Cleveland, Mississippi will be hosting the AA World Series in 2017. Oxford, Alabama will be hosting this tournament. The pitch. That one is low. Laurel, Mississippi was the first town to ever host all three age groups, AAA Majors and Ozone, at the same time. That was 2 years ago. They will get that tournament next year as well as the AA. So Laurel, Mississippi will be abuzz with activity. Look at that jump. Oh, they caught him in a rundown. The pitcher throwing to second. Gary getting a little ahead of himself. He's caught between second and third. Now he's heading back to second, and third baseman running him back. Now the second baseman has him. He's headed there, and he dives and puts the take. Oh, they dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. 24, Rawl had him, but when he dove to tag him on the backside, the ball popped out. So Gary very fortunate there as he gets the stolen base, as he got hung out to dry. And hear the Lexington coach in our crowd mic saying, tighten up out there. Watching the infielders here, they're still playing at normal depth. Maybe conceding the run to get it out here in the early going. The pitch. Swing and a miss by Davis. Count is now 2-2. Again, we're in the opening moments here of this elimination game of the 2015 DYB Ozone World Series. We started with 12. We're down to 6. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Glad with his first strikeout of the game, which brings up Sean Smith, who 2 nights ago hit an absolute moon shot over on field 7. Can't see it in the crowd shot, but there is a white tent down there, down the right field line. The ball nearly hit in that area. I mean, it went over the fence with plenty to spare. The pitch swung on and hit to right center field, and they're going to watch it fly. And that got out of here in a hurry as it lands on top of the netting over the playground. That thing may have got no more than 25 feet off the ground and got out of here in just a couple of seconds. So that's going to be an adventure for DYB officials to try to retrieve that ball as Smith gets the glad hands down the right field side. Sean Smith will get that home run ball as soon as they can get it down from the netting up there.
Next in the box for Mississippi, number 34, the catcher, Elijah Watts.
As the shaking has begun to try to dislodge that ball from the net. 2-0 Team Mississippi on top. As Sean Smith gets into one. Elijah Watts, who is also homered in this tournament, now up. And he takes strike 1. Again, Watts pitched 5 innings yesterday in relief. He cannot pitch today. The pitch, low for a ball. And you can see in the crowd shot there, there we go, with the help of the baseball bat. And that's a smart investment there with that netting out there with kids playing on that playground. The pitch, low and in the dirt, 2-1. I spent most of my time last year here in Lexington on this field and saw many a home run ball land in that netting. 2 balls and a strike to Elijah Watts. The pitch is a strike called. It's now 2-2. Diego Otero waiting on deck. Otero is one of the 3 reserves not starting for Team Mississippi. Every player must play 3 consecutive defensive outs before games end. The 2-2 is swung on ground ball past the third baseman in the left for a base hit. Out of the reach of the third baseman, Pickney. So a 1-out single for Watts will bring up Diego Otero.
Up next for Mississippi, number 42, Diego Otero.
Go ahead and give out the number for shout-outs here. This is my cell number that we ask people to text and do not call to get text on the air. The number is 850-380-7267. Again, 850-380-7267. And again, folks, text, please. Please do not call. Runners off on the pitch. Ball is up. Throw down is not in time. Good jump there by Elijah Watts. And we'll read those as we get them. We'll go ahead and do that for the rest of the tournament. The runner at second, Elijah Watts, here in the top of the first. Team Mississippi on top, 2-0. Got about a 2-step lead over there as pitcher spins back, and he gets back safely. And coming up next on Field 8, Louisiana and Georgia in an elimination game. Ground ball past the pitcher and past the shortstop into center field. They will send the runner. The throw is coming home. Actually, he'll hold up. The throw gets away, misses the cutoff, and Otero will be at safe at second. Robert Williamson will bring you that one here at 5:45 as I'll jump over to do the AAA game on Field 11, which is South Carolina and North Carolina. That's Keyshawn Patterson to the plate. Again, we ask you to like us on Facebook, where you can keep up on all the scores of all the action here. The pitch swung on and hit to right field. That could be trouble. Right fielder giving chase and makes the sliding catch. The throw is coming home, but it will not be in time. Great effort there, Reese Holbrook, as the runner at second thrown out at first. So that'll go 2-5 on the put out. But Patterson with the sac fly, plating Elijah Watts, as Otero is thrown out at third to end the inning. But not before Team Mississippi puts up a 3 spot here in the top of the first. On 1, 2, 3 hits, 4 hits. We'll go to the bottom of the first when we get back. It is 3-0 Mississippi. And again, you're watching the 2015 DYB Ozone World Series on JockJive and on AM 1580 WPMO.
What makes Dixie Youth Baseball different? Well, one good rule is required participation. During the local season, every player on every team is required to play in every game, and all tournament players are required to bat at least once in every game. It's not a perfect rule, but it's much more than most youth baseball organizations do, and it allows each baseball player to be an active participant. Just being a part of each win or loss means so much to the child. They just want to belong, and Dixie Youth Baseball sees to it that they do by making this a regular rule. We think this is a step in the right direction, the child's direction.
Back here in Lexington, South Carolina, where the following Lexington lineup will be facing Mississippi pitcher Keyshawn Patterson. 22 is the pitcher, Austin Glad. 24 is the shortstop, Ben Rawl. 23 is Reese Holbrook in right field. 31 is the center fielder, Richie Parker. Number 30 is Palmer Curvin, the catcher. 27 is Nathan Hall. 29 is Patrick Cronin. 25 is Ethan Plyler in left field. 21 is Tyler Spires. 28 is Trad Pickney at third. 20 is Logan Goodwin at second base. And 26 is Charlie Compton at first base.
Fans are getting hot and thirsty. Palmetto Quench on the top of the hill, serving the best snow cones in Lexington. Palmetto Quench. Go get you a snow cone today.
They are coached by Chris Davis, John Bush, and John Goodwin. For Team Mississippi on the infield from left to right, from third to first is number 7, Sean Smith. 2 is Warren Gary. 44, Joe Scarborough. 15 is Hunter Lee. The outfield from left to right is number 21, Will Clemens. 3 is John Davis. 22 is Taylor Williams. Behind the plate is number 34, Elijah Watts. And on the bump is number 23, Keyshawn Patterson. Lexington is coached, as we mentioned, Chris Davis, John Bush, and Justin Goodwin. Again, with these games starting so late in the afternoon, have a lot of time to do number crunching. So with that, we'll give you day 2 of what I'm calling the JockJive Power Rankings.
Austin Glad.
As Austin Glad steps to the plate. We'll get to that in a minute. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball, past the diving shortstop into left for a base hit. Knocked down by the diving Will Clemens. So Glad on top of the first pitch for a leadoff single. At number 12 is Tennessee at 0-6. Number 11, Arkansas with a 1-6 record. Number 10 is Texas at 2-6, and we'll get back to the rest of it in a moment. 24 is Ben Rawl, the shortstop. Runner back to first. Again, this is one of only 2 games going on at the moment. Back, and ball gets away, and the runner thinks about going, but he'll stay put. In the Majors division, it is Florida and North Carolina. That's the other game going on right now. Chuck Sebastian's bringing you the action over on field. I believe it's 10. Snap back over. Gets away. Getting back to my power rankings. Down 3 spots to number 9 is Virginia at 3-4. They've got 1 in the winner's bracket, and that's their only team that's in right now. At number 8, down 3 spots, Alabama at 3-4. They have 1 team in the winner's bracket and the only team in. As that one gets away, and that's going to be a wild pitch as Glad takes second base. Number 7, unchanged, is Louisiana. They are at 4-4. They have 2 of their 3 teams still left, both in the loser's bracket. The 1-0 pitch, missing outside. That's another wild pitch, as Glad on 2 straight pitches goes first to third. At number 6 is the host, Lexington, up 3 spots. They're 5-4 overall. 2 teams still left. Up 3 spots to number 5 is North Carolina. They are also 5-4. They have 2 teams left. Ground ball off the glove of the third baseman into left field for a base hit. I believe we're going to call that a base hit. We'll get confirmation. As Lexington puts one up to make it 3-1. Again, I believe that's a base hit. Yes, after further confirmation.
Next up for Lexington, number 23, Reese Holbrook.
Smith had to lunge to his left, only deflected it. And another wild pitch gets away. And Team Lexington off to the races here. 3 bases on 3 wild pitches so far. The 1-0 pitch is low. Oh, that's a pass ball underneath the catcher. So Rawl up another base. At number 4 is Team Mississippi. They're also 5-4, but they do have a win in the Ozone against Team North Carolina. At number 3 up a spot is Georgia. They're 6-3. 1 team in the winner's bracket. 2 teams left. Ground ball past the diving second baseman into right field for a base hit. So Lexington with 3 straight hits to start this ball game. They have cut the lead to 1. It's now 3-2.
Next into the box for Lexington, number
as Richie Parker comes to the plate.
Parker.
Team Florida drops a spot to number 2. They're 7-2 overall. They have all 3 teams left, but the new number 1 is South Carolina, 7-1 overall. They have 2 of their 3 teams in the winner's bracket. Line drive past the second baseman again into right field for a base hit. So 4 straight hits, and the runner will go first to third. The throw will go to third, and that'll allow the runner to take second. Both teams have brought the hitting sticks today. In South Carolina and Florida will meet in Ozone action later tonight. Imagine that winner will take over my number 1 spot. Again, that's just something that I thought about doing after, waiting in the hotel all day. So Team South Carolina, 7-1 overall. Followed by Florida at 7-2 as they have a meeting on the mound. Again, we also invite you to download the DYBWS app. DYBWS, that's Ken and Tony Boster from Hartsville, Alabama, put that app together that you can download and keep track of all the scores of all 3 divisions.
Next up,
you can also do that on JockJive's Facebook page. I invite you to like us on Facebook. You can keep track of all the events that we're at, which includes the Ponytails and Angels X-Play World Series. We're in Moore County, North Carolina today. Pitch is a strike to Patrick Curvin. They are in semifinal mode today with championships tomorrow. Mike Rideout and Dwayne Cook bringing you action there in Moore County. I was actually there, I think it was 4 years ago for the Ozone World Series up there. Our good buddy Ken Britt was one of the administrators there. Haven't seen him yet today, but I'm sure he's not too far away. The pitch. Gets away from the catcher. The run is coming home. The pitcher covering. Not in time. It gets away from the pitcher. So that's going to be a wild pitch. That is the 5th base. Actually make it 6 bases that Lexington has moved up on wild pitches or pass balls here in the first inning, and still nobody out. So control, a little bit of an issue here for Team Mississippi in the early going. We are tied 3-3 in the first. This is starting to look like that Mississippi-North Carolina game from last night that ended up being 10-9. The pitch up and away. That game ended with North Carolina flying out to deep right field, about 5 feet from the right field fence. That would have tied the game at 10. The 2-1 pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-2. Again, that shout-out line, 850-380-7267. Again, 850-380-7267 if you want to text those shout-outs to us. The pitch, and it hits him. Hits him in the leg as Curvin trots down to first. So 5 straight base runners have reached for Lexington as Nathan Hall comes to the plate. You can see Lexington with their yellow tops with the white pants, blue stripe down the side, white lettering and numbers with blue trim as time is called. Team Mississippi wearing their red tops with white pants with the blue letters across the chest with white trim. Look a little like Ole Miss, except Ole Miss's blue is a little darker. The pitch up and away for ball 1. Again, the winner of this one will get the winner of the Florida-South Carolina game. I'll have that game for you at 8 o'clock tonight. The only 2 unbeatens left. Throw it back to first, and the runner Curvin back in safely. And we only have 2 games going on at the moment. We'll have all 4 fields here going on at 5:45. That one's outside. Throw down to short, and he dropped. They got it, but the ball popped loose. Are they still calling him out? I guess the second base umpire is claiming that the shortstop, Gary, was trying to pull the ball out of the glove. That's Tim Metzger on the call, so that'll go 2-6 for the out. But the run does come in to score. So Parker on the stolen base, and Team Lexington now leads 4-3. The pitch swung on and fouled out of play to the right side. And you can get another shot of that play, as well as any other play that JockJive has broadcasted by buying our premium channel for $19.99 a year. You can do that on the homepage of JockJive. Free downloads, as many as you want. As good a deal as you'll find. The 1-2 to Hall is a check swing down the right side and a roll foul. So Curvin thrown out 2-6 for out number 1. But again, wild pitches, pass balls, stolen bases have allowed Lexington to reclaim the lead after they fell behind 3-0 after a half inning. The 1-2 is outside. Umpire just said 3-2. I must have missed a ball in there. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball. And it eats up the third baseman. He recovers, and it won't be a throw. I'm assuming we're going to call that a base hit as it took a funny hop. And that's going to be an infield hit. That ball must have hit off the lip of the infield grass and almost caught Smith right in the face.
Next into the box for Lexington, number 29, Patrick Cronin.
Again, we ask people to text and do not call 850-380-7267, as I've said before. It's a text line. I've got a headset on, so I cannot pull it away to talk. Please text those shout-outs. Again, the number 850-380-7267. I'm going to give a big thanks to James Thompson. He's the hardest working man in Lexington this week. Ground ball over the head of the pitcher. The shortstop charging. He has it over to first in time. Nice play by Warren Gary. Along with his much better other half, who just walked away. We'll just have to say it again later. 6-3 as Hall takes second for Ethan Plyler. Nearly gave Barb a heart attack earlier. I mistakenly said that Lexington got this World Series in 2017. That's Cleveland, Mississippi, and Oxford, Alabama. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you do, I think I'm on game number 44 since July 11th. We were just saying hi to James's much better other half and how I almost gave her a heart attack earlier. Ball 2. That's what happens. You do so many games at one time. Left becomes right, up becomes down. Lexington becomes another city. 2-0 to Plyler. The pitch. Actually, it's low and away, and it's now 2-1. Plyler, P-L-Y-L-E-R. And I think we got us a shout-out that we'll get to. Says, shout out to MS. Get it together. We can do this. That's a Mississippi number, 228 area code. Mentioned in an earlier broadcast before I started working at the Gulf Breeze News in Gulf Breeze, Florida 12 years ago. I worked at the Mississippi Press in Pascagoula from 2000 to 2002. Ground ball. Smith has it. Double clutches, throws to first in time. Nice job there. That'll go Smith to Lee for the 5-3 putout. But Team Lexington with 4 runs on 5 hits. They leave 1 on. We've played 1 full inning. We will go to the top of the second. Mississippi coming to bat, trailing 4-3. And again, you're watching the 2015 Dixie Youth Baseball Ozone World Series on JockJive.com and on AM 1580 WPMO.
We invite your support and contributions to the Dixie Youth Scholarship Fund. Offering financial assistance to hundreds of former players was not accomplished easily. Funds for these scholarships came from many sources, including donations. We ask you to consider making a contribution and by doing so, help more graduates from Dixie Youth Leagues to continue their education. All money collected for the Scholarship Fund is given for scholarships. No funds are kept for administrative purposes. If you would be interested in knowing more about the scholarship program, contact one of the officials at this tournament. They will provide information and explain what to do. On behalf of those who have received scholarships in the past years, may we express our appreciation for your support of the scholarship program. Thanks to you, it's working.
Back to action here in Lexington where the text reads, Coach John and Shug listening in Gula. Go Gula. That would be Pascagoula. Says, go Austin Glad. Love Grandma and Grandma from Phoenix AS. I'm assuming that means AZ for Arizona. That might be the longest shout-out we've had so far. Speaking of Pascagoula, they had 2 state champions here in this tournament. Their AAA squad lost 12-7 to South Carolina yesterday, so their tournament's done, but still 2 state champions out of 3, that's not too bad. Joe Scarborough, not the one on TV, will step in. The lefty takes the ball upstairs. Again, 4-3 is our score. Lexington with 4 in the bottom of the first, rallying from 3-0 down. That is a strike to Scarborough. It's now 1-1. It'll be Taylor Williams and then Will Clemens for Team Mississippi as we got us another shout-out we'll get to after this pitch is swung on, ground ball, and into center field for a base hit. So Scarborough with the leadoff single. So shout-out to the Gula boys and Brandon Newbill from Mom, Gracie, Mama, Pawpaw, and Aunt Crystal. Another 228 number.
Stepping up to the plate from Mississippi, number 22, Taylor Williams.
Taylor Williams, number 22, stepping in. Well, the Pascagoula area, actually more Escatawpa in particular. Home of the rock group 3 doors down. Actually, Kryptonite had just came out when I took that job at the Mississippi Press back in 2000. That is a strike called. Understand they all went to Moss Point, which is practically right next door to Pascagoula. Runner at first is Joe Scarborough. He's got about a 2-step lead over there. Glad looks over. Now he'll come home with it. Popped up on the infield. The pitcher says, I got it. Second base coming in, but the pitcher will make the grab. That's Austin Glad for out number 1. And Austin Glad
Next into the box, number
has
21,
thrown 6 innings in this tournament.
Clemens.
Pickney has 6. Cronin with 4. Rawl with 3. Parker with 1. Another text from Coach John and Shug listening in Gula. They say, go Gula. And the runner's off on the pitch, upstairs. Throw down to second, will not be in time, as Scarborough nearly slid off the bag. He gets a stolen base. This is the end of the JockJive Dixie summer. This is my 5th tournament since July 11th. The 1-0. Strike called. Certainly excited to get back home for the start of high school football. Not sure what the case is here in South Carolina and Mississippi, but yesterday was day 1 of full pad practice in Florida. The 1-1 as Scarborough scurries back into second. Kickoff classics in Florida will be a week from Friday, and then they start for real the Friday after that, August 28th. Another shout out, we'll get to that. The pitch, swung on, popped up, and that'll get out of play. It's 1-2. It says shout out to John Davis and Team Mississippi from the Harrison Davis family. Go Gula, it says. Would imagine we may not get a lot of Lexington shout-outs because they're actually here at the game. Again, the host team has had a strong showing, 5-4 so far. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball, back up the box. That's a base hit. Will they send the runner? Yes, they will. The throw is coming into the pitcher, and the runner will take second. Bare hands, and nope, throw. So the single by Clemens drives in Joe Scarborough, and we are tied again at 4. Scarborough scoring on the play. 15 is the first baseman, Hunter Lee. In 4-4 our score here in the top of the second. This is an elimination game. We'll be down to 4 teams at the end of the night.
15, the first baseman, Hunter Lee.
Our next game here in the Ozone, Louisiana and Georgia, also an elimination game. We'll stay on at the end of this one to show you the post-game festivities and the awarding of at least 1 home run ball to Sean Smith. Spin and the head first slide back by Clemens. Each team, once they're eliminated, will get a participation certificate and a medallion and a nice little goodie bag from the folks here at Lexington who, once again, doing an excellent job putting this tournament together. The pitch, swung on, ground ball to the third baseman. Oh, he can't handle it. Shortstop has it. Does he tag the runner going by? No signal. I guess he missed him. So I guess we call that an E5. We'll wait for that signal as Lee will be safe. E5, thank you. So runners now at the corners here for T.J. Thomas. As Noah Britt back in Pascagoula says Pascagoula plays at Moss Point, their first game on Friday, and Gaucher will host George County. It's a hotbed of high school football there in Jackson County. It says, let's go number 15. That would be Hunter Lee, who just reached on that error. Of course, Pascagoula, I think in 1987, won the 5A state championship with quarterback Shane Matthews and cornerback receiver Terrell Buckley. They certainly had some pretty good college careers. So shout out to Austin Glad from Phoenix AZ, watching your game on JockJive, which I believe it is just hit 2 o'clock over there on the, actually 1 o'clock on the West Coast. As T.J. Thomas, number 6, stepping in here. It is a 4-4 game with runners at the corners as Mississippi looking to retake the lead. The pitch missing outside.
Number 6, T.J. Thomas.
The Gaucher Gators, the Pascagoula Panthers, the Moss Point Tigers. The pitch low and away as Lee off with the stolen base. Can't remember what George County is. I think they're the Rebels, but I'm not sure. It's been a while. They're located in Loosedale, which is north of Jackson County. The 2-0 to T.J. Thomas with runners at second and third is headed home. It is swung on. Chopper to the shortstop. He has it over to first. In time, the runner's going to go try to get third to throw down to third. It gets away. It goes into foul territory, but Lee will stay put as the 6-3 ground out plates Will Clemens. So he gets the RBI. And Team Mississippi now on top 5-4.
Next up for Mississippi, number 24, Brandon Newbill.
24 is Brandon Newbill, again, one of the 3 non-starters. Again, as we mentioned, all 12 players must play 3 consecutive defensive outs for the end of the game. And that one misses low. Pitchers are allowed a total of 15 innings in a tournament. Watts has the most with 6, but again, he cannot pitch today because he pitched 5 innings in relief yesterday. Glad and Pinckney entered play today with 6 innings. So this is inning 8 for Glad outside. 2-0 the count. Says, yes, George County Rebels, the text reads. Remember when I was there, they had an excellent girls soccer team. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed by Newbill. Count now 2-1. Pascagoula hosted a World Series. I believe it was 2001. This was before the Ozone division, so that was the AAA and the majors back then. The 2-1 hits the outside corner. It's 2-2. I remember got to meet Matt Goyak during that tournament. Unfortunately, Mr. Goyak passed away back in February. He's the last surviving founding member of Dixie Youth Baseball back in 1955. This is the 60th anniversary, as time is called. 60th anniversary for Dixie Youth Baseball and the 40th for Dixie Softball. The 2-2 pitch with 2 outs is headed home. It is swung on and missed for strike 3. But Team Mississippi does get 2 runs on 2 hits and an error. They leave 1 on. We've played an inning and a half. We'll go to the bottom of the second when we get back. Lexington trailing 5-4. Again, you're watching the 2015 DYB Ozone World Series on JockJive.com and on AM 1580 WPMO.
Are you a friend of JockJive on Facebook? Do you follow us on Twitter? Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? If you aren't, don't, and haven't, please do. We are growing exponentially and want you to keep up with us. Plus, we want to stay in touch with you. So go to the homepage of JockJive.com to like us, follow us, and subscribe on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll jock and roll together.
Back here in Lexington where the text reads, shout out to John Davis and Team Mississippi. Let's go Gula. Gula, as they're called, now on top 5-4 in this elimination game. Looking to make it to the Final 4. Again, 2 state champions from Pascagoula this year. As Team Lexington will send up the 9, 10, 11 batters, Tyler Spires, Trad Pinckney, and Logan Goodwin. Again, a reminder, folks, to text. Please do not call. Text 850-380-7267 as the text shout-out line. And again, we will do the Mississippi or Lexington game tomorrow here on this field on Field 8, so that will be the number for the rest of the way. Tyler Spires, one of the 3 reserves, as we mentioned, for Team Lexington. Again, we mentioned because they are the World Series host, Lexington got 3 teams in this tournament. 5 wins so far. That's not shabby. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Wouldn't say it's not unexpected, but, you know, those teams don't have to earn their way here. They didn't have to win a district. They didn't have to win a state like all these other teams, but yet they're hanging tough, and a couple of their losses are only by 2 runs. So they're a couple runs away from having more than 5 wins. The pitch inside. Count now 1-1. Going to be Trad Pinckney and then Logan Goodwin. The pitch is up and away. Count now 2-1. Past 4 o'clock here on the East Coast. Wind blowing slightly out. That is a strike called to Spires. You can see the flags waving in the background. You can see from your camera shot there, you can get from base to base, but if anything goes right down the lines, it'll be out of your view for a moment. That ball is hit to the second baseman. He has it. It's going to be a close play at first, and he's safe. Good speed there by Tyler Spires on the infield hit. Ball hung up a little bit as it made its way to Scarborough, which allowed the Spires to beat it out.
28, the third baseman, Trad Pinckney.
28 is Trad Pinckney, T-R-A-D, Trad Pinckney. He is the third baseman. He represents the tying run. We've had a slugfest here so far. 5-4 in this elimination game. Short lead there for Spires by about 2 steps. Throw back to first, and he's back safely. In Laurel, Mississippi will host this tournament as well as the AA tournament in 2016. And ball missing inside. Which would make a relatively short drive if Pascagoula makes it again next year. The text reads, big shout out to Austin Glad. Love Uncle Frank. Thanks for showing the game. Well, appreciate you watching. If you really want to thank someone, Wes Skelton is the commissioner of Dixie Youth Baseball. He's got the final say. That's a wild pitch. It gets away, and that's going to be an E1 as Spires takes second. Remember, we meeting Wes Skelton during that 0-1 World Series in Pascagoula. He was the commissioner back then. I believe this is his 7th term. The pitch swung on, foul to the left side as it almost took out Logan Goodwin, who didn't even move. A ball and a strike here to Trad Pinckney. The pitch swung on, foul back. A ball and 2 strikes to the third baseman, Trad Pinckney. He's looking to drive in the tying run here in the bottom of the second. It is 5-4. That one missing outside. Oh, and it gets away. Runner at second hesitated, and now we'll go back. In Keyshawn Patterson, the pitcher for Mississippi is K-E-S-H-U-W-N, but pronounced Keyshawn. The 2-2 pitch cut it home. Ground ball stabbed out of the air. I believe it was caught by Smith in the air. And the home plate umpire agrees. That is a line out to 5 for out number 1. Nice job there by Sean Smith. I was mentioning in a previous game that he kind of has that David Ortiz look about him. And I got a message saying, yes, they do call him Big Papi back in Pascagoula. He does have a David Ortiz build to him, except he's right-handed. But he does have David Ortiz's power, no question. And the left-handed hitting Logan Goodwin to the plate. Smith on the lip of the infield grass, possibly anticipating some sort of bunt to move the runner to third. The pitch is a strike. Again, Goodwin is the number 11 batter. All 12 batters bat the first time through the lineup. Then it gets paired down to the top 9, and then coach at their discretion can reinsert the 10, 11, 12 batters. The pitch is a ball. Ball and a strike. And coming up next here on field number 8, another elimination game, Louisiana and Georgia. Two and 1 the count. Nice lead there at second by Spires. That's about a 3-step lead as they spin and throw back, and he gets back safely with the head first slide. Actually, it's Elijah Watts that's called Big Papi, and he showed some pop earlier with the home run he had yesterday. The pitch, strike called. Whoever the football coach is at Pascagoula High, I'm sure he's got an eye on a couple of these kids. I see a few linemen in the making here. There's some size out there. Watts, Smith. Probably a couple of wide receivers floating around out there too. Maybe a quarterback. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. I would imagine some of these youngsters will be trading in the bat and ball for the shoulder pads here come next week. The pitch. Swung on, ripped down the right field line, but foul by just a few feet as Goodwin got around on that one just a little bit. And coming up next, Houghton, Louisiana, Putnam County, Georgia. Followed by Spring Hill, Florida, and Jefferson, South Carolina. The 2-2 is swung on, hit to right center field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. The runner arounds third. They're going to put the brakes on him at the last minute, and with good reason. Nice strong throw there by John Davis on the Logan Goodwin single. So runners at the corners with one out for Charlie Compton.
Number 26, the first baseman, Charlie Compton.
And we're in the bottom of the second in a slugfest here. It is already 5-4 in the bottom of the second, scheduled for 6. Interesting, on field 7 earlier in the tournament, the first 5 games we had were determined by the mercy rule. Makes me want to go out and play Powerball with those kind of odds. The pitch. Swung on, and that will drop into shallow left field for a base hit. That'll plate a run. And we're tied once again. Back and forth we go as Charlie Compton singles to plate Tyler Spires. We are tied at 5.
Now batting for Lexington, the pitcher, number 22, Austin Glad.
Number 22 is the pitcher, Austin Glad. He singled, moved to second and third on wild pitches, then scored on Ben Rawls' single. He's looking to get an RBI or 2 here. The pitch is a ball. And this is one of only 2 games going on here at the moment. Florida and North Carolina in a majors game going on with Chuck Sebastian on the coverage. Swung on, ground ball, foul to the left side by just a few feet, and it's a ball and a strike. We appreciate all the interaction on our shout-outs. Certainly adds some more color and life to the broadcast. Hopefully nobody's getting in trouble at work. We don't have that boss button like March Madness where you can click on the boss button when your boss walks by to make sure you're not watching basketball. We don't have that yet, so you have to come up with something. That's a low ball in the dirt. That's now a ball and 2 strikes according to the scoreboard. I had 2 and 1, but we do have 1 out here in the bottom of the second. 5-5. The pitch. Inside, did it hit him? Nope. Count now 3-1. Just out of curiosity, we're going to look in this very nice program to check out what the record is for runs in a game. That ball is low, and it's now 3-1. I believe I remember the record is like 33 or something like that for combined runs in a DYB Ozone World Series game. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and hit well to center field. A center fielder going back, and he's going to watch it fly as it lands on the netting out there in the playground. It is a 3-run homer for Austin Glad. And the host retake the lead. It is 8-5 in the second. The most runs by 2 teams is 34. So, guess if we go 6, we got a shot the way this one's going. But that score was 33-1, so this one's a little more competitive than that game was.
Now batting for Lexington National, number 24, the shortstop, Ben Rawls.
It says, "Go Austin Glad," the text reads. As time is called, as we're going to have a meeting on the mound. And haven't seen if, I believe that's Joe Gary out there. I think we might be seeing a pitching change here. We haven't seen him take the ball. Yeah, actually, he does have the ball in his hand. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break here on JockJive.com and then have that pitcher for you.
Sportsmanship is one of the goals of Dixie Youth Baseball. At times, we see good sportsmanship displayed by everyone except for some adults. We feel that as adults, regardless of whether or not they're active in the program, they're supposed to set a good example. Everyone can do this as they sit in the stands cheering for their favorite team. Be a good example of sportsmanship. Yell for, not against a team. In this way, you can set a good example of sportsmanship. Fans are as much a part of the game as the umpires, so be a good fan by cheering for your team and not against the other.
Back here in Lexington, where Warren Gary will take over the pitching duties as Keyshawn Patterson will go to short, so it's just a swap between pitcher and the shortstop. So your Mississippi infield's now Smith, Patterson, Scarborough, and Lee. So that puts Patterson at 5 innings total, as Warren Gary will be pitching his 5th inning in the tournament. Again, as we mentioned, 15 innings allowed in a tournament. So you could have a pitcher throw 2 or 3 innings every game and have enough to get through. So we will have 2 home run balls awarded here. Seen Paul McCullough up here from South Carolina. He'll probably be part of that home run ceremony. Haven't seen Tommy Reams yet, but I'm sure he's here. He's the state director of Mississippi. As Ben Rawl comes to the plate, he singled and drove in a run, scored in the first. He swings and misses. We'll also stay on for the post-game ceremonies, the awarding of the certificates and medallions to the eliminated team. That ball is swung on and hit in the left field and knocked down by the left fielder. Gets away from him, but he'll keep it in front of him. So another single for Ben Rawl, who's now 2 for 2.
Up next for Lexington National, the right fielder, number 23, Reese Holbrook.
Need to see, check this record book one more time. We mentioned the record is 34 runs in a game. I'm going to see what the hits are because 2 teams are starting to rack them up. The pitch is a strike called to Reese Holbrook. Lays down a bunt. It's a good one. The pitcher bare hands, throws over to first, and it gets thrown away. I believe we'll call that a bunt single and then an E1, as the runner's going to come all the way in to score. So I'm thinking bunt single and then an E, but we'll check on that because it was a close play. Bunt single and then an E1. So that RBI will plate Ben Rawl. It is 9-5.
Now batting
What a way to make a living.
Center fielder Richie Parker.
We do not have most hits as a record by 2 teams, but the runs is 34. And we're already at 14 through 2 innings. These 2 teams are piling up the offense. Hopefully the bulbs don't get burnt out up there on the scoreboard as Parker takes a pitch upstairs for ball 1. 9-5 here in the second. Hope Parker singled and stole home and scored earlier in the first. Scanning our little bracket here, we see 23 runs in that Alabama-Virginia game. That might be the record. I see a 21, a 20, 16, 19, another 19. So I believe 23 is the record for this year. That one definitely in jeopardy as we're going to have a meeting on the mound with Gary and one of the umpires. Not sure what this is about, but again, we invite you to like us on Facebook. JockJive is the name. Keep up on all the scores. And I believe we're signaling for Joe Gary to come out. I'm assuming this is his son they're tending to here. And Joe Gary had a tough go of it last night. Got injured behind the plate, but was able to tough it out. I think they're going to give him some warm-up pitches. Not sure why, but quick break here on JockJive.com.
Sportsmanship is one of the goals of Dixie Youth Baseball. At times, we see good sportsmanship displayed by everyone. except for some adults. We feel that as adults, regardless of whether or not they're active in the program, they're supposed to set a good example. Everyone can do this as they sit in the stands cheering for their favorite team. Be a good example of sportsmanship. Yell for, not against a team. In this way, you can set a good example of sportsmanship. Fans are as much a part of the game as the umpires, so be a good fan by cheering for your team and not against the other.
Back here in Lexington where the text reads, send Grandma and Grandpa the home run ball in Phoenix, Arizona, Austin Glad. That could happen. That might happen. Never know. The 3-0 pitch. And the runner was off on the pitch, and he's going to reach on the stolen base. Holbrook safe at third as Parker draws the walk.
Stepping up to the plate for Lexington National, the catcher, number 30, Palmer Curvin.
So the top 4 spots in the lineup are a perfect 8 for 8 on reaching base. 7 hits, and now that walk to Parker. But the 9, 11, and 12 batters have also scored, so everybody's getting into the action for Lexington here in the first 2 innings as Parker with about a 2-step lead at first. The pitch is outside to Palmer Curvin, who was hit by a pitch but was thrown out trying to steal back in the first. 9-5 here in the second. The wind is blowing out to the right side. The pitch low and in the dirt. That's going to be a stolen base as Parker was off on the pitch. And it's now 2-0. And we've already had 2 home run balls end up on the netting out there in straightaway center. The pitch upstairs. It's now 3-0. And I'll be jumping over to, I believe it'll be the AAA division at 5:45. South Carolina, North Carolina. Robert Williamson will move over a chair and take over action here on Field 8 coming up next with Louisiana and Georgia. The pitch is outside, gets away from, they call it a strike. Count now 3-1 to Palmer Curvin, the catcher. Nathan Hall waiting on deck. Lexington looking to notch its 6th win of this World Series. The 3-1 is low, and the bases are loaded. Nathan Hall will be the 10th batter of the inning for Team Lexington as they look to add to this 9-5 lead, as Joe Gary going out to talk to, I'm assuming, his son and the rest of the infield. Will they take the ball from him? Yes, they will. So we will have us another pitching change. We'll have that when we get back. Again, you're watching the 2015 DYB Ozone World Series here on JockJive.com and on AM 1580 WPMO.
The Sportsmanship Award is one of the most coveted awards to be won at this Dixie Youth Baseball Tournament. Sportsmanship is playing hard to win, but realizing all cannot become winners. It is being a gracious loser and even more a gracious winner. Good sportsmanship involves such matters as fair play, keen rivalry, but careful observance of the rules, courtesy, and a generous attitude toward an opponent. To be considered for an award for sportsmanship, a team must, 1, demonstrate good conduct and positive attitude by all players and coaches, both on and off the field. Number 2, be prompt and participate in all scheduled activities throughout the tournament. 3, have fans that show good conduct and attitude toward umpires and opposing teams. And 4, be neat in appearance and dress of both team and coaches at all times. We ask all in attendance here at this Dixie Youth Tournament join the coaches and players in making these qualifications the rule of behavior while attending these tournament games. Let's make this year a wonderful year of fun and great memories.
Back here in Lexington, South Carolina, where John Davis will take over the pitching duties. Gary heads to center, so Gary went from shortstop to the pitcher's mound, now to center field. So Gary at the moment has 5 innings pitched, as Davis will be pitching his 2nd inning here. So your infield stays the same: Smith, Patterson, Scarborough, and Lee. behind the pitcher Davis. The outfield is Clemens, Gary, and Williams. Another shout out coming in. We'll see what this says. It says, "You're more than a conqueror, John." That's from Pastor Jimmy. Not sure which John. Actually, that's John Davis, the pitcher. Not sure what verse that is. I have heard it before. So Davis put in a tough spot here. Bases loaded here in the second. As Nathan Hall, number 27, to the plate. He beat out an infield hit his last time up. The bases are loaded, and he's off. And we're going to have him run down to third. Watts to Smith. Smith running the runner back to the home. Now Davis running back, and did he tag him? And he didn't. Throw down to third, and they got him. So it ended up 1-6 on the end of it. I think 5 got his hands on it. Maybe 2-5, 1-6 possibly. I affectionately call that the Jenny put out, 8-6-7-5-3-0-9. A whole lot of numbers involved in that one as the suicide squeeze unsuccessful. Runners stay at first and second. The pitch, runner off to third. It gets away. So that'll be a stolen base for Parker and Curvin as they go second to third. The suicide squeeze was on there for Lexington, but Hall could not put bat on ball. Puts a bat on ball here, he could get 2 RBIs. The pitch. Swung on, popped into center field. The center fielder going back, still going back, and it is gone! The fence out there is 220. It couldn't have gone no more than 225. But Hall, Nathan Hall, clears him, the 3-run homer. The slugfest continuing here on field number 8. It is now 12-5, and we're only in the second. That is now an 8-run inning for Lexington. The center fielder, Gary, kept going back, and just ran out of room. Somewhere that ball will get chased down and brought back up to the press box and signed by numerous DYB officials and get presented back to young Mr. Hall. Hope DYB has enough.
Number 29, Patrick Cronin.
I hope DYB has enough of those plastic cases. They are going through them. The pitch to Cronin upstairs for a ball. That is now, I think, 3 home runs in the game, and again, we're only in the second. The pitch, low for a ball. Speaking of home runs, Team South Carolina in the Majors division has already tied the record, 21. And that's only in 3 days. They have 3 more days to hit 1 more to get into the record books. They already have the single game record of 11. That is a ball. I believe they're out of Hartsville, where JockJive crews were about 2 weeks ago for the Ponytail Traditional World Series. Team North Carolina bringing the title home there. The 3-0. Taking all the way, and it is low and away, the 4-pitch walk. So Team Lexington will bat around here in the second. The 12th batter of the inning is going to be Ethan Plyler.
Now batting for Lexington National, number 25, Ethan Plyler.
Plyler grounded out to third his first time up. Another shout out here that we'll get to. It says, "Go Lexington boys, you're awesome." 26 for 21. Oh. So 26, Charlie Compton will bat for Spires. He stands on deck. So the runner at first is Patrick Cronin. The pitch to Plyler, low and inside. Again, 12-5 our score. Lexington already plating 8 runs here in the second with 2 outs. The pitch is low and away. 2-0. Again, 26 is Charlie Compton. He will bat for Spires. The 3-0 pitch headed home to Plyler as the pitcher bluffs the throw, and the runner first dives back in, Cronin. And shout out again to all the many volunteer workers here at Lexington that's kept this tournament going. Gotten a lot of experience the last 2 years. This is the 3rd year that the AAA majors in Ozone have been at the same place. Ozone traditionally had its own World Series event. The pitch is a ball. So a 4-pitch walk to Plyler.
Now batting for Lexington National, number 26, Charlie Compton.
As Charlie Compton will step to the plate. Says, way to go, Austin Glad. Love Kingman in Oklahoma. I'm sorry, in Arizona. Again, that's what happens when you do so many games in a month. Start getting dyslexic on the air. The pitch swung on, ripped down the left side, but foul. Look out down there. Boy, that had some speed to it. Hopefully everybody's okay down there. And Compton batted number 12 the first time through, hit an RBI single and scored earlier here in this second inning. Now he bats again. The pitch to him misses outside. Now a ball and a strike. We're over an hour into this broadcast, and we're only in the bottom of the second. 12-5 our score, the host on top, as Davis spins around and the runner Cronin diving back safely. The 1-1 hits the outside corner. 1-2. Again, Patrick Cronin is your runner at second. Ethan Plyler at first. Both of them walk. That one is in the dirt, and it's now 2-2. In the first of 3 games here on Field 7 today, we'll have another elimination game with Louisiana and Georgia. Then at 8, the final of the winner's bracket, Florida and South Carolina. And this is a double elimination tournament. The 2-2 is inside, and the count's now full. Imagine the runners will be off on the pitch. Again, Cronin at second, Plyler at first. They both drew bases-loaded walks on 4 pitches. The 3-2 pitch to Compton is headed home. It is low and in the dirt for ball 4. So Davis has walked the bases loaded. Back to the top in Austin Glad, who hit a 3-run homer his last time up. He singled and scored in the first, so he's 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs already. And we invite you to like us on Facebook. JockJive is the name. And keep updated on all of the scores here, as well as our coverage of the Ponytails and Angels X-Play World Series.
National, number 22, the pitcher, Austin Glad.
From Moore County, North Carolina, and Carthage, where we were 4 years ago for the Ozone World Series. The pitch missing upstairs. Ball and a strike, or ball and no strikes. And you're also listening to this on AM 1580 WPMO back in Pascagoula. The pitch hits the inside corner. Again, Mississippi trailed 3-0 yesterday and was able to come back, but this deficit just a little bigger at the moment. But they definitely have the sticks to get back into it. But need to get out of this jam. Base is full of Lexington batters as Glad steps out. Again, the runners, Cronin at third, Plyler at second, and Compton with the pinch hit walk. He stands at first as Davis steps off. Another shout out. Says, "Go Austin, we love you." Quick and to the point. The 1-1 missing outside. It is now 2-1. In Lexington looking to go 6-4 this week between their three teams, which is a pretty amazing feat. As we mentioned, they didn't have to play district or states to get here. The pitch gets away from the catcher, but not deep enough to advance anybody. That'll make it 3-1. There's nowhere to put them. And Davis looking to get out of this jam, which has netted 8 runs here for Lexington. The 3-1 is inside. So Austin Glad with the RBI the easy way. The bases loaded walk that scores Cronin. It is a 13-5 lead. As Ben Rawl comes to the plate, he's 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. And I know we're still a couple innings away, but the run rule is starting to loom, and that'll be all for John Davis. So Mississippi will throw its 4th pitcher out there, and we'll take a quick break here. Again, you are watching the 2015 DYB Ozone World Series on JockJive.com and on AM 1580 WPMO.
Every league in Dixie Youth Baseball sets their sights each year on the Dixie Youth Baseball World Series. In August, champions in the Majors Division, the AAA Division, or the Ozone Division from each state compete for the #1 position in Dixie Youth Baseball. Why not combine your vacation with a week of championship youth baseball at the Dixie Youth World Series? Are you aware of the scholarship program available to participants in Dixie Youth Baseball? Hundreds of men and women have won scholarships and used them to help pay for their education after graduating from high school. 70 $2,000 scholarships were given away this year. To apply for a scholarship, you must be a senior in high school, complete the application, and mail it by March 1st to be considered for one of these awards. If you played Dixie Youth Baseball in past years and you will be a senior in high school next year, we encourage you to think about this opportunity. Many are glad they did.
Back here in Lexington, South Carolina, where TJ Thomas, number 6, is the 4th pitcher of this inning for Team Mississippi. So Davis departs. He's now at 2 innings total. Thomas has yet to pitch in this tournament. He will be put in a tough spot as he's going to come in with the bases loaded with 2 outs for Ben Rawl, who's 2 for 2 with an RBI and 2 runs scored.
Now batting for Lexington National, number 24, Ben Rawl.
The top 6 batters in the Lexington lineup, Glad, Rawl, Holbrook, Parker, Curvin, and Hall, are a perfect 13 for 13 in getting on base. That's winning baseball in any division. The pitch, that hits a strike, the outside corner to Rawl. It's 0-1. And the runners are Plyler at 3rd, Compton at 2nd, Glad at 1st. That is a strike called as Rawl's a little upset. Definitely going to have to be swinging here. The 0-2 pitch, missing outside. 1-2 the count. Rawl singled, drove in a run, scored in the 1st, singled, scored here in the 2nd, which has lasted about an hour for Mississippi. The pitch swung on, and that's into left field for a base hit. 1 run's going to score. They're going to put the brakes on the runner at 3rd. Good, strong throw there from left. Gets away from the catcher. Everybody thought about advancing. That is Will Clemens with the strong throw out there. So station-to-station baseball as Rawl singles to put Glad at 2nd. Compton at third, and Plyler in. Now a 9-run second inning. It's now 14-5 for Reese Holbrook. The pitch, low and away for a ball to Reese Holbrook, who singled, drove in a run, scored in the first, bunted for a single in the second, and drove in a run in the second. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play to the left. Count now a ball and a strike. And coming up next, it'll be Louisiana and Georgia in elimination game, Florida and South Carolina in the winner's bracket. We have 6 teams still alive in the Ozone. The pitch swung on, fouled straight back. We'll be down to 4 on each field after this. So 36 in total, now down to 18. The pitch from Thomas, missing inside, and it's now 2-2. The 2-2 pitch swung on, fouled back as Holbrook stays alive. And first pitch was thrown at 3:31, so we're well over an hour and 10 minutes, and we're only in the second inning. The 2-2 pitch is swung on, hit to center field. That ball will drop into center field for a base hit. One's going to score. The throw coming into the pitcher, not in time. 2-run score. As Holbrook with the 2 RBI single. Compton comes in to score. Glad comes in to score, making it 16-5. And the run rule, at least for the 4th inning, is in effect.
Now batting for Lexington National, number 31, Richie Parker.
Richie Parker is 1 for 1. He singled and scored on a stolen base in the first inning, walked and scored in the second. The run rule is 15 after 3, so Lexington still needs a few more to get there. Text reads, big shout out to Austin Glad. Father, a service member. Loves you guys. Well, thank you too, sir. That is definitely extra gratifying when we get members of the military shouting out from all points of the world. The 0-1. Check swing, but he went around. It's 0-2. And Parker is 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored. The 0-2 pitch is swung on, hit down the right field line. That could be trouble, but it is just foul by a couple of feet. And that could have scored 2 right there. Even the strikes are allowed this inning for Lexington. Running out of black ink in this pen. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on with 2 outs in what has been a 12-run inning for Lexington. The pitch swung on. That's fouled out of play to the left. Nine hits in the inning, 12 have come in to score. Runner at second is Rawl. Runner at first, Holbrook. The 0-2 is swung on, fouled out of play again to the left. And Thomas is the 4th pitcher of the inning here for Team Mississippi. What has been the longest of innings for the boys in red. The 0-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. But the damage has long been done before that. A 12-run on 9 hits.
And left 2 men on base.
They leave 2 on, so they've left 3 on through 2. We go to the top of the 3rd. Mississippi in a big hole here. It is 16-5. And again, you're watching the 2015 DYB Ozone World Series here on JockJive.com and on AM 1580 WPMO.
Are you aware of the scholarship program available to participants in Dixie Youth Baseball? Hundreds of men and women have won scholarships and used them to help pay for their education after graduating from high school. 70 $2,000 scholarships were given away this year. To apply for a scholarship, you must be a senior in high school, complete the application, and mail it by March 1st to be considered for one of these awards. If you played Dixie Youth Baseball in past years and you will be a senior in high school next year, we encourage you to think about this opportunity. Many are glad they did.
Back here in Lexington, where the host team has made a ton of changes. Glad and Rawl have switched positions, so Rawl will take over the pitching duties with Glad going to short. Nathan Hall takes over for Ethan Plyler in left. Tyler Spires in right for Reese Holbrook. So your infield now for Lexington from left to right is now Pinckney, Glad, Goodwin, and Compton. The outfield is Hall, Parker, and Spires.
The new pitcher is Ben Rawl. Now playing shortstop.
Curvin still
Austin
behind the
Glad.
plate.
In right field is Tyler Spires, and in left field is Nathan Hall.
As Team Mississippi will have the top of its lineup coming up here with Gary, Davis, and Smith. In the longest of innings for Mississippi, Lexington putting up a 12 spot, which still is not the record, at least that I know of, as Alabama in their win over Virginia in the opener scored 13 in one inning. Again, the most runs scored in a game is 34. So even with that outburst, we're still a little bit away from that. So Glad at the moment has 8 innings pitched. Again, only pitching 2 innings in this game makes him eligible for tomorrow, should there be one, but at the moment it looks like that's going to be the case. Rawl will be pitching inning number 4 right now.
Leading off from Mississippi, number 2, Warren Gary.
Warren Gary beat out an infield single his first time up. He stole second and third and then scored on the 2-run homer by Sean Smith. And his first pitch is swung on, chopper, and into left field for a base hit. Nice diving attempt there by Pinckney, but couldn't come up with it. Gary thinking 2, and he will be safe. Well, I guess we'll call that a double or a single and an E. We'll check on that, but either way, Gary at second base.
Now batting for Mississippi, number 3, John Davis.
Good aggressive running there by Gary, but would have been disastrous for Mississippi had he got thrown out. Another shout out that we'll get to. As big shout out to the Lexington team. The pitch is low for ball 1. It says, go hashtag new money, new bill. As John Davis bats here with a runner at second. The pitch, big swing and a miss there. It's now a ball and a strike. Davis struck out swinging his first time up. Again, 16-5, Team Lexington on top. As the pitcher Rawl steps off. So a shout out from mom and family for number 27 for Mississippi. That's Brandon Newbill, swung on and fouled out of play. The 1-2 from Rawl headed home is swung on and foul tip, so Davis stays alive. Again, we will stay on to show you the post-game ceremonies at the end of this one. Again, we ask people to text. Please do not call. 850-380-7267. The pitch. Swung on. Hit into center field. The center fielder drifting to his left. Still drifting, and makes the running catch. Nice job, Ricky Parker, as the runner tags. Nearly had a collision out there between Parker and Spires, but Parker runs it down for out number 1.
Now batting from Mississippi, number 7, Sean Smith.
As Sean Smith, who hit a 2-run homer his last time up to straightaway center. That took maybe 3 seconds to get out of here. The pitch is a ball. Text reads, "Come on, John Davis, you can do it," from Uncle Michael. He did move the runner up on the deep fly ball. Smith has homered at least twice in this tournament as he takes a pitch for strike 1. Now a ball and a strike. The 1-1 missing outside. It's now 2-1. We mentioned earlier, there's football coaches at Pascagoula High hoping this boy plays more than one sport. Sure, they can find many a place for him to play. It says, "Go Brandon" from Mimi and Bruce. That will be Brandon Newbill. The 2-1 pitch is strike on the inside corner. Count now 2-2. Brawl obviously being very careful, working inside and outside, definitely staying away from the middle of the plate. The 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. He was trying to park one in the trees. That is strikeout number 3 for Lexington
Stepping up to the
pitching.
plate for Mississippi, number 34, Elijah Watts.
As Elijah Watts, who singled and scored his first time up. Again, big strikeout right there. Again, Watts, another youngster with some home run power. The pitch hits the inside corner. 0-1. The pitch is a strike called. It's now 0-2. Says John Davis and team, way to go, guys. The pitch way outside. It's now 1-2. The text reads, "We love you, Austin Glad. Love Honey, Bubba, and Cookie." And the runner at third is Warren Gary. Stands there with 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch to Watts is swung on and fouled back. He stays alive. Diego Otero hoping to bat this inning. And it is 16-5, Lexington with a 12-run second. 4 outs away from advancing here in the loser's bracket. The pitch swung on and hit to left. Goodbye. Off the one of the semi-trucks out there, one of the food vendors, as he comes outside to see what the world was that.
Please return the home run ball to the press box.
So did we just get hit by a meteor? No, it was a home run ball from Elijah Watts. Big Poppy living up to his name. Makes it 16-7, which at the moment takes the run rule out of play as they cut to lead to 9.
Now batting for Mississippi, number 42, Diego Otero.
Be interesting to see if that food vendor's got a big dent in his truck. Fortunately, it didn't hit the window about 5 feet to the left. That definitely would have woke you up. Just glad that didn't land in anybody's barbecue out there or something. The pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner to Diego Otero, who singled his first time up. The 0-1 is swung on and hit to center field. The center fielder drifting out and then in and makes the catch. That's Richie Parker for out number 3, but not before Team Mississippi puts 2 more on the board on 2 hits with the 2-run homer from Elijah Watts.
A little bit hot out there. Make sure to go
We've
get the
played
cold
2.5.
stone
We'll go to the
ice
bottom of
cream
the third.
weekend.
Lexington coming to bat, leading 16-7. Again, you're watching the 2015 DYB Ozone World Series here on JockJive.com and AM 1580 WPMO.
Here are some things you may not know about JockJive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like Dixie, American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We've worked with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. Here's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right, we have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your next sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve JockJive.
Dixie Youth Baseball is dedicated to building the youth within our community to become responsible citizens tomorrow. The real goal of the program is to teach fair play, honesty, and love of God and country. Those who play Dixie Youth Baseball are generally better for life as a result of the lessons they learn in how to meet and accept as members of a team and in the game of competition. Help us in the Dixie Youth program by offering your services as an adult volunteer. Lend a hand to our youth. There's no greater calling.
Back to action here in Lexington, where Brandon Newbill will take over for Mississippian right, and Diego Otero is the new second baseman. So the infield for Mississippi is now Smith, Patterson, Otero, and Lee. The outfield, Clemens, Gary, and Newbill. As the text reads, come on, number 27, y'all can do this, from your cousin Jeffrey. And already we have a final on our other game. Florida 6-3 over North Carolina, so that means we're the only game going right now. Well, that ended quick. Less than 90 minutes. The pitch, oh, it hits Palmer Curvin. So he gets hit for the second time.
Now batting for Lexington National, number 27, Nathan Hall.
So Team Florida staying alive in the majors bracket. Florida will await the South Carolina-Virginia winner. That's in the majors division. So we're the only game going right now. We'll have 4 games going on at the 5:45 time slot. The pitch swung on and fouled back by Nathan Hall. Again, we thank Chuck Sebastian for his update there. As Team Lexington needs a run to put the run rule back on the table in the 4th, as the pitcher Thomas bluffs the throw over to first. Curvin back in there safely. Curvin's been hit twice and walked once, so no official at bat in 3 appearances. The pitch missing upstairs. And a little bit of history could be made tonight with Team South Carolina in the majors. One more home run, they'll set the all-time record for the majors. And again, that goes back, like I said, this is the 60th year of DYB baseball. Swung on and missed, gets away, and I believe it was fouled, so the runner will have to go back. One ball and 2 strikes as Curvin with about a 2.5-step lead over there at first. Thomas looking over there, bluff throw, and the head first slide back. Again, Lexington gets at least 1 here. The run rule will be back in effect. The pitch, swing and a miss, and that'll be a strikeout. That'll be only the 2nd strikeout by Mississippi pitching.
Lexington National, number 29, Patrick Cronin.
29 is Patrick Cronin. He'll step to the plate. Says, sorry, I meant number 24. Cousin Jeffrey rooting on number 24. The pitch. I believe that'd be Newbill. That gets away, but the runner does not advance. Newbill has gotten awfully popular in the last inning or so. And he is now in right field. Again, 16-7 our score. Team Lexington on top. looking to advance to the Final Four in the Ozone division. Again, that'll be Lexington's 6th win of the tournament, as Team Florida is now 8-2 overall. The pitch. Missing upstairs for a ball. It's now 2-0. North Carolina now has one team left. They are 5-5 overall right now. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on, hit to center field. That'll get down for a base hit. The runner will go first to, he'll stay at second. On the one-out single by Patrick Cronin, he's on for the second time.
Now stepping up to the plate for Lexington National, number 25, Ethan Plyler.
25 is Ethan Plyler, who's 0 for 1. He grounded out to third in the first inning, walked and scored in the second in what was a 12-run second for Lexington. The pitch. Swung on and hit to right field. That ball is going to get down for a base hit. Newbill mishandles it. The throw is going to come in, and the runners will all advance a base. So that'll be a single and an E9. As the RBI scores Patrick Kirby, and once again, the run rule back on the table. The lead is 10 at 17-7. Of course, Lexington could score 5 right here and end it right now.
Up next for Lexington National, number 21, Tyler Spires.
As 21, Tyler Spires goes back in. Compton went into bat for him in the second. That is off the end of the bat. That ball is going to stay fair. The pitcher has it, throw over to first in time. That'll go 1-3. Oh, and the runner at second gets caught and gets back. The runner at second went all the way to third, but realized his teammate was still there. So he gets back safely. Back to the top of the lineup here with Austin Glad.
Number 22, Austin Glad.
Glad batting for the 4th time in the ball game. He is 2 for 2 with a walk. The pitch. That's a strike in the outside corner. And we'll stay on to show you the home run ceremonies and go over all these stats, which may take about 3 hours at this point. The pitch from Thomas. Missing upstairs. Thomas is the 4th pitcher of the game. He went in the second inning. They put 4 batters in the second inning alone. The pitch to Austin Glad is swung on and missed. Another shout out to get to here. It says, "Go Austin Glad, Lexington team, you are awesome." The 1-2 pitch with 2 outs, headed home. Is swung on and line drive caught by the first baseman. Nice job there by Hunter Lee on the line out. But they do get 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2 on. They've left 5 on through 3. We're halfway home here in this elimination game, but should Mississippi not score a run in the 4th, this thing will end early. We'll be back after this break here on JockJive.com and AM 1580 WPMO.
The official sports web streaming provider of Dixie Youth Baseball is JockJive.com. Now, you don't have to miss the big game, whether in another part of the state or another part of the world. Catch Dixie Youth Baseball on JockJive.com, and when the game is over, the joy of listening and watching the coverage has just begun, because every game broadcast by JockJive is now archived at its conclusion. Plus, you can catch the game on your mobile phone or iPad. JockJive.com, the next best thing to being there.
Back to action here in Lexington, South Carolina, where the hosts are 3 outs away from the Final Four of the DYB Ozone World Series. Again, an amazing feat for the hosts because they didn't have to play in a district or state tournament to get here. But they're showing that they belong. This will be Lexington's 6th win this weekend. They'll be 6-4 overall should this score hold. We have some changes coming in here.
Now playing first base for Lexington National, Patrick
So Lexington has their original starting outfield back out there with Plyler in left, Holbrook in right, and Patrick Cronin taking over at first base. So they had to get Cronin in there in this fourth inning since this game could end here in 3 outs. It'll be Keyshawn Patterson, Joe Scarborough, Taylor Williams. They need at least one to force the bottom of the fourth. In the winner of this one, we'll get the winner of the Florida-South Carolina game. That'll be our 8 o'clock game here on field 8.
Number 23, Keyshawn Patterson.
I'll be jumping next door to our right for I believe it's a AAA game at 5:45 with North Carolina and South Carolina. The owner, Robert Williamson, will move one chair over and will bring you the the Louisiana-Georgia game, which is also an elimination game. The pitch knocks Keyshawn Patterson off the plate, but he gets out of the way. Patterson is a sac fly in his previous at-bat. Again, we started with 12. We're now at 6. We'll be down to 4 by night's end here in the Ozone Division. That applies to both the AAA and the majors as well. Then after tomorrow night, we'll be down to 2 or possibly 3, and that's only if the undefeated team loses on Wednesday. Then you'll have the 3-team tie. You'll have to go to the byes to determine who gets the bye. The pitch is a strike called. Count now 2-1. In Lexington with a 12-run second that has blown this thing wide open. The 2-1. That one misses outside. That'll run the count to 3-1. We thank everybody for their shout-outs. As just as I say that, we get another one. Says, I just want to give a shout-out to John Davis and his team. Let's bring home a win. Well, first things first, they need at least one to force the fourth. The pitch, missing inside, and Patterson draws the walk.
Up next for Mississippi, number 44, Joe Scarborough.
As Joe Scarborough will step in, he singled and scored his first time up. Looks like Paul McCullough, the state director here in South Carolina, is going to be part of the post-game ceremonies. Paul handled the machine pitch duties this past week in North Myrtle Beach, so he's had an awfully busy week. Throw back over to first. He and Jay Bennett, along with Texas State Director Bill Sanders, held down the coach pitch division in North Myrtle Beach this past week. South Carolina brought home the coach pitch title. Florida won the machine pitch. As Patterson with about a 2-step lead. Now he stretches it out a little more. He is going. The pitch is a strike. Throw down, and they got him. The throw was up the line at second, but the shortstop puts the tag on Patterson as he goes by. That'll go 2-6. Curvin to Glad. Nice job there by the shortstop. Says, let's go Gula from red. So Lexington 2 outs away from advancing as Joe Scarborough has a pitch, and it hits him in the – did it hit him? Must have gone behind him. Now a ball and a strike. Looks like it may have gotten Scarborough in the back, but it must have gone behind him without hitting the uniform. He doesn't say anything. He singled and scored his first time up. The 1-1 pitch is low and away. Ball 2. Again, we will stay on to show you the post-game ceremonies here, which will include the certificates and medallions to the eliminated team and the retrieval of the state flag from the outfield and the home run balls. The pitch swung on, ground ball. Shortstop backhands, long throw across. My goodness, they got him. Na-na-na, for Austin Glad, deep in the hole at short. Wow.
Now batting for Mississippi, number 22, Taylor Williams.
It has been that type of day for the host, who are 1 out away from the Final Four. It'll bring up Taylor Williams, number 22. He popped out to the pitcher his first time up. That was an excellent play. You still see him smiling from here. The pitch from Rawl is a strike call. Will Clemens hoping to bat this inning, but he needs his teammate to reach. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Lexington now 1 strike away. It's 0-2. Raw looking to seal the deal. Recalled! And the hosts, who didn't have to play in district or state tournament play, are now in the Final Four of the 2015 BYB Ozone World Series.
Mississippi 7.
Your final score in 4 innings,
at 8 p.m.
Lexington 17, Mississippi 7. We'll recap who did what in the game, starting for the boys from Pascagoula, Mississippi. It's Warren Gary going 2 for 2 with a double and 2-run score. John Davis 0 for 2. Sean Smith 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. Elijah Watts goes 2 for 2 with a 2-run homer. He scored twice. Diego Otero 1 for 2. Keyshawn Patterson, no official at bat. He walked once and hit a sac fly. Joe Scarborough 1 for 2 with a run scored. Taylor Williams 0 for 2. Will Clemens 1 for 1 with an RBI single. He scored once. Hunter Lee 0 for 1. TJ Thomas 0 for 1. Actually, no official at bat. He had an RBI ground out. And Brandon Newbill goes 0 for 1. Now, as I catch my breath, for Team Lexington, it's Austin Glad going 2 for 3 with a 3-run homer. He walked once, scored 3 times, drove in 4 runs. Ben Rawl goes 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. And we will go down to the
Players and coaches,
field.
please remain on the foul lines after shaking hands for presentation of home run balls.
And we see Paul McCullough down there and a host of many others. Try to get to these shout-outs. It says, woohoo, Austin. It says, Brandon, you are our champion. And the next one says, yay, Austin. And we'll go down to the field now. We see Jay Bennett down there, too, one of the national directors from South Carolina. I think Keith Greenlee's down there as well. Of course, Tommy Reams, the state director from Mississippi, who's going to be awfully busy in the next 2 years, hosting World Series in Laurel and Cleveland. And we're waiting for the signal downstairs to get started. And Barb Thompson, one of the, actually the main volunteer with her other half, James. And
Presenting
here we
home run
go.
balls first to the Mississippi team is State Director Tommy Reams, National Director Keith Greenlee, National Director David Smith, District 7 Director Ronnie Terrell, District 5 Director J.J. Williamson. First for Mississippi, Sean Smith hit a 2-run home run. Everyone give him a round of applause.
That's Sean Smith's at least 2 home runs. It might be 3, so he's got to make room on his shelf back home.
Next up from Mississippi was Elijah Watt with a 2-run home run. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Elijah Watts with at least 2 home runs in the tournament as he goes out there. It's hard to believe some of these kids are 11 or 12 years old. He looks like he's about 15. And you see he's blocking out some of the state and national directors for the group picture. He's so tall. Nice display of sportsmanship as all the Lexington boys going out there to give attaboys to Watts. And Smith's like, you know what, I want some of that too.
For Lexington, State Director Paul McCullough, National Director Glenn Wagner, and National Director Jay Bennett. First up for Lexington, Austin Glad. He hit a 3-run home run. Everybody give him a round of applause.
Then we mentioned Austin Glad already with his 2 for 3 night, which includes the 3-run homer. He's getting the ball back there from Paul McCullough.
Also Also, Nathan Hall with a 3-run home run. Everybody give him a round of applause.
Nathan Hall also with a 3-run homer. He's getting his home run ball. And we'll try to do a couple more of these. Reese Holbrook goes 3 for 3 with a run scored and 4 RBIs. Richie Parker goes 1 for 2 with a walk, 2 runs scored. Palmer Curvin, no official at bats. He was hit by a pitch twice and walked once and scored twice. Nathan Hall goes 2 for 3 with that 3-run homer. Patrick Cronin goes 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Ethan Plyler 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
Their flag from the outfield.
As Team Mississippi will go get their flag from the outfield wall, which will be down the right side. We'll go ahead and finish this real quick. Tyler Spires goes 1 for 2 with a run scored. Charlie Compton goes 1 for 1 with a RBI and 2 runs scored. He also walked once. Trad Pickney 0 for 1, and Logan Goodwin 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? With this loss, Mississippi has been eliminated from further play in this tournament. However, they have had a great season, and there are no losers in Dixie Youth Baseball. We have enjoyed having Mississippi in this tournament. Let's give them a big round of applause for their participation here. We wish for them a safe trip home and great success in their future play, and especially as they pursue even greater endeavors in life.
As there's Team Mississippi bringing their flag back, and they'll get their medallions and certificates. And we'll get a couple of shout-outs in right there at the very end. It says, y'all did very good. Keep your heads up high coming home.
As I call your name,
Team
please go to the
Mississippi
mound
there.
and receive your medal from the Dixie Youth officials. Number 24, Brandon Newble. Number 6, TJ Thomas. Number 15, Hunter Lee. Number 21, Will Clemens. Number 22, Taylor Williams. Number 44, Joe Scarborough. Number 23, Keyshawn Patterson. Number 42, Diego Otero. Number 34, Elijah Watts. Number 7, Sam Smith. Excuse me, Sean Smith. Number 3, John Davis. Number 2, Warren Gary. Mr. Alan Scarborough. Mr. Joe Gary. thank you for your participation, and we wish you guys a safe trip home. Everybody give them a round of applause.
And that'll put the wraps on this one. Another shout out we'll get to. It says, "Go Gula, you're still #1 in the state. Good job, boys," from John's mom. So that'll put a wrap on game 1 of our triple header. Again, Lexington in 4 innings defeats Mississippi 17-4. The host will be in the Final Four on Wednesday. They will play the later game at 8 o'clock where they will get the Florida-South Carolina winner. That game will be here tonight on Field 8, scheduled for an 8 o'clock Eastern start. I'll be bringing you the action on that one. But coming up next on Field 8, another elimination game, Louisiana and Georgia. Robert Williamson will bring you that one, while yours truly jumps over to Field 11 for a AAA elimination game with North Carolina and South Carolina. So for now, Jason Thompson signing off, wishing you, wherever you tuned in today, a pleasant afternoon.